Hi, it's Mimsy. How are y'all? I am going to do a drawing today. It's a very simple drawing, but it's really cool because you build and build and build of a castle. I know, right? I'm excited. I like castles. We all like castles, I guess. I know I do. I love a castle. I like to dress up. My husband and I like to go to Renaissance Festival and dress up and we're in the castles and around castles. So castles are really cool to us. So it's fun to be in a medieval time, and we're gonna just go there a little bit today. So get ready. You can draw, and let's art. Okay, so now we have our piece of paper, and I've got it also in landscape style. You could do it vertical if you wanted to, instead of horizontal, but we're going to do it this way, and we're going to draw a castle. We're going to be using these same 5 elements, what I consider elements of art. I'll just put Mimsy's elements, and I might even put nano elements of art. Because like I said, from all these things you can draw just about anything. It's just learning how to build. Alright, so from those, let's start our castle. First thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and do the main part of the castle. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a rectangle shape. I've got my paper about horizontal, so there's a rectangle shape. Then I'm going to come back onto this rectangle shape, and I'm going to start on the corner, and I'm going to go up with a rectangle shape. And I'm drawing another rectangle shape on this side. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to come up from the corner. Going to come over. These do not have to be the same size. One can be bigger than the other. One can be smaller than the other, and they can come out further if you want them. They can come down and go out. It's just up to you. They can be level. They can go up and down, however you want to do it. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to draw a triangle on top of these rectangles. So I'm going to come up and come down. That's going to make a roof on these towers that are going to be our castle. You can start seeing our castle forming now. These are towers, so I want to put a window way up the top. So I want to put a curved window. So I'm going to put, and I'm also going to put a big door, a drawbridge door down here. Let's do that first. Then we'll do the matching windows on that side. So on this, I'm going to start with, well, the base is going to be this line. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to make what I call a rainbow shape, because it's got an arch. And then same thing here. I'm going to do flat line. And then another one, flat line, rainbow arch. So now I've got, there's a basic castle. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do, I think it's called the rook, but it's basically almost like a square. You go out and down, you're going to go over and then out and down and then over, then out, down. So you're just building, try to go the same width as you go here. Come back. Okay, and then this one could also be like just like that, kind of like that. They're not all the exact same size, but they don't have to be. These were used for when people were behind them. They would use their archery. They would step out and they would shoot, and at whoever was coming with their bows and arrows, and then they would get behind here so that if people were shooting at them, it would hit those big bricks and it wouldn't hurt them. Okay, so from here, we're going to do a couple of things. This is definitely going to have a moat, so I need some land in front of it, and I also need a horizon line in the back. I want to do a horizon line way in the back because I want this castle to be able to be built on, and I want to have just a bare little bit. And so I'm going to take it, I'm going to kind of just draw a line. It can be kind of wavy if I want it to be. because maybe there's mountains back there, kind of. And that's my horizon line. That means this is sky and this is ground. And the reason I have so much ground is because I'm going to add to this castle. So first thing I'm going to add is I'm going to do Penants. I'm going to bring up with the line. I'm going to do a short one here and a longer one there. And then I'm going to do a long triangle coming back to the little flag Penants. You know, the little flags that fly in the wind. Those are pennant flags. This is roofs, so I'm going to do those. That is really simple. It's almost like what I call a fish scale, which is going to be a loop. And then you go back to the middle part of the loop right here. And you go to the left. And you loop to the right. And then you do the same thing. You start in the middle part of this loop. And you loop to the middle. And then you take and go to the left. And go to the right. And then you do it again. You start on one of these and you go to the middle. And then from the middle to the next one. And then you keep going. So this one would go off and this one would come this way. And you have a little connection that way and this way. And there is my roof. My shingles that look like fish scales. I'm going to do it on this side. And the reason you layer them this way is because that's actually how fish scales are layered. That's also how roofing tiles are laid, so that they have the best way of letting the water run off. If you did it like this, if you had the roof and you laid it like this and then just kept going like this, and they were all in the same line, they're not as strong. You might see roofing like that, but it's not going to be roofing that is actually strong, because then it's coming from the same. So you don't want to do it this way. You want to do it where it's looped like that, which I'll show you another one close up. So you come back down. And you're going to do the first one, and then you're going to go to the middle, and you're going to go to the left and to the right, and then you're going to do the middle again, going to the next middle of the other one, and then you're going to go to the left and go to the right, and then you keep doing it to each middle, and that makes it look like fish scales. So you could actually learning how to do fish scales too, not just roofing materials, but fish scales as well. And you can see the difference between this pattern and that pattern. This isn't a bad pattern, but this isn't how they're laid out on houses. So just remember to go right back to the middle of each one that you've already laid, and then that gives you a better pattern. And it's waterproof. When the water falls, it'll trickle right off. In these, it would go right into those cracks, and it would cause lots of rot, which is not good. Okay, so let's see, now we have got our roofs done. We're going to come back in here and make the door. This door is actually wood. It's a big drawbridge, so I'm going to put little lines to represent the boards. Now, some of these boards are probably not that tall, because this is a lot taller than you think. So it would probably be boards put together, so I'm going to need to put a connecting board here, and then maybe a connecting board there, maybe one here, maybe one, I don't know, maybe one here, maybe one there. And on each side of those, I'll put little nail holes, because they probably, well, I don't know if they even used nails back then. Not sure that they did have iron and stuff, but I'm not sure they used nails. That would be a good question. Probably we're done with notches of wood, but that's okay. You get the drift of what it looks like. Okay, and then I also am going to have a moat, so I want water in front of my castle, but I'm going to also put first some land in front of my castle. So now this is land all the way to the back. This is going to be water. So the water, the moat, is going to go right here. And the road that went from when this would lay down, actually probably should have put the moat a little closer, because that's not quite big enough to lay down, but when this would lay down, it would lay across the water, and that's how they would get in. But this is how you kind of make Okay, so it would go into the water. You wouldn't draw the line in the water. You come out on the other side. You're coming out at an angle. This is called 1-point perspective. This is the center you're drawing, and everything is coming out from that center. So this is the perspective. It would come out like this, and then you draw, pretend like you're drawing through here, and then draw. So you see how it looks like it's going into the castle? That's the way a road would actually look if you were going into the castle. Okay, so here we have that. We're going to add some, let's add some plants. Just to squiggle up and down things. You can add some plants. You can add some rocks. Maybe some rocks on the side over here. Maybe a big rock because it's by the moat. I don't know. You could put some other rocks here. Maybe some other plants. Maybe a plant or two coming out. Maybe some more rocks. And then this could also be, you could have like wagon wheels that would be coming from the, you know, that would be driving through. Because the wagon's going to come and go into the castle. I think on each side of this drawbridge, I would like to have a either lantern or something, maybe a candle. Just so you could see at night, they'd have those lit. Just a candle so that at least you could have some light coming in. That kind of looks good. And then maybe even, I don't know, they could either hang them out of the window or not, but they could hang these little, I don't know what you call those, the things that have the symbols on them for the, that represents the land. Now you'll have to come up with your own symbol of what you want to be your land. I think mine is going to be a moon, a partial moon maybe, and maybe a couple of stars over here, I guess. I don't know. You could do whatever you want on these things. You could write words. You could put just plain ones with color. You don't have to draw anything if you don't want to. These are going to be brick, I think, or some type of brick. So now that I've got these drawn on there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my lines. And I'm going to kind of curve them. I guess they won't be brick because they're going to be kind of wide, but I'm going to curve them a little bit to make them look like they're actually round towers. Because cylinders are actually rectangles that you kind of put rounded, like right here, you'd put a round. Kind of a, instead of straight across like what we did, you kind of give it a curve a little bit. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I kind of did that on the top. I made it look like more like a cone. So the same thing would be with a cylinder. A cylinder would be, this is what you would initially draw. You could do that in pencil. And then instead of doing it that way, you'd come back and you'd make an ellipse at the bottom and the top. Even at the top, if you wanted to make it a glass, you'd have the ellipse. This gives you the illusion that it's a glass or a cup. And so you'd have some lines that are kind of curved, and that makes it look like it's an actual curved, like a piece of pipe, or maybe a glass. I mean, you could put a thing here, and you could have a mug. Anyway, this kind of shows you what I'm talking about. It takes the same rectangular shape, but makes it into a cylinder. Okay, so these are cylinders, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to, actually, because they're not, I don't have a whole lot, well, let's do it. Let's put another line in between each one of these. That way we can do a brick pattern. Brick patterns are not that hard. They're kind of similar to what you did when you were doing this up here. It's kind of similar in a way, because you're going to every other brick and you're putting a line. So when you lay brick, if you took brick and you stacked all the bricks together like this, it would not be a very strong wall. That would fall down because they're all in line. But if you take a brick wall. And here are your bricks. And you have a set of bricks or concrete block, whatever you want to. If you put the next one, if you offset the next one where it's on that weak spot here, this is where this is the whole brick. So this is a weak spot. That's where it's connected. So if you put the next one here, solid in between that, then you would have strength there. And so this is basically, it's, I guess you call it a basket weave, but it's still like the way they lay bricks. So between these two, I would put another one. Basically, this would skip one and then go here, and skip one and then come back down here. And then so it would skip, it would come down, it would skip, and it would come down. This one, the same thing. It would skip and come down. And then you would finish these off the same way. This one would skip this one, but it would come down here. Skip that one and then come down here. Skip this one and come down here. Skip that one, but come down here. And then you'd have your brick. That's how you would lay brick. Now this is strong brick wall because this mortar is not, the mortar here is on a solid part of a brick here. And then there's mortar here. So that's a stronger brick wall than something like this. Same thing like this. This is not strong. This is strong. This is strong. Because it's going in between. So that's kind of like what we're going to do on this. So in other words, if I have one here, I'd skip that space and then I'd come down and do the other one. Skip that space and come down and do that one. Skip that space and then come down and do that one. Okay, and then I would, this would actually be on its own. I wouldn't even need to do anything there. I could do the same thing over here, but I'm going to probably pretend that the next piece of this is in here. So down here I could do that. In other words, this one, this would be a brick. But because the brick is on this, I won't see it because this is a window, which you can fill that in so that you know that it's a window, a hole. And then this is the stuff in the way, so you won't see it on that either. And then the next one would be here. So if this is here, then it would be here and it would be here. See, I'm skipping and then going back. Okay. And then that basically, I don't think I could do much more because this one would be, there would be one here and there would be one there. You could maybe get away with one here and one here. You don't see too much of the brick pattern because it's so wide and you got these big things in between. But this side might be a little bit better. Let's see. Let's see if I do one here, here, one here. Skip one. Skip one. Okay. Skip one. And then the next brick would be here. And then I could come up here and then it wouldn't show in any of those. But the next set of brick would be here. And so then I'd skip this one and go to here. Skip that one and go to there. Skip that one and go to there. Yep, that would work out. So this one wouldn't show all the way up because there's nothing for it to cling to. This one would be here. Okay. And then, let's see. So if I've got this one here, and then this one is here. So this would be here. So then I'd skip that one. I'd go here, skip, skip, skip. Okay. That would pretty much be it. I don't think you'd have one on this one because this would be the edge and this would be the edge. So that would be done. Okay. So there's our brick pattern. Not much of one because we have our flags there. But that's okay. And I need to fill this one in because this is another window, another hole. Yay. And now I need to build on my castle a little bit more. So I think I'm going to come out with another wall this way. And because I'm close to the edge, I'm just going to go off my paper here. And this side, I might go and then just close it off like that. And then on these walls, I'm going to do stacked stone. So stacked stone, you leave spaces in between where you're putting your stone. And they can be any style. They can be all round. They can be all thin. They can be however you want them to stack. And they're going to be stacked on top of each other, but they're going to have mortar in between. They can even be odd stones like that. And there's my stone wall. I'll probably do a stacked stone wall on this side too. And let's see, we still, yeah. Okay, so stacked stone wall on this side too. Alright, so there's my stacked stone. Okay. So now I've got a stone wall over here, stone wall over here. I want to go ahead and I want to close in my castle a little bit more. So I think I'm going to do 3D on these. So I'm going to probably come off, let's see, off a little bit like this and make these into boxes. So I'm going to come off with lines that kind of go to slant and then connect back down. Okay, so now I can continue this on everything that I have that's making a box. So that means this over here, this line would be like this for the back wall. And this line would go this way for the back wall. And that means this line would go like that for the back wall. And this could be more stacked stone. It would have to be at a different angle. But that would be my wall. And then this would be a wall inside here. Now, if that's a courtyard or something in there, we have more buildings or whatever, because we could put other, you know, you could have more turrets, you could have more, oh gosh, you could do all kinds of stuff. Let's see. We could just start stacking pieces of buildings in the back. You don't have to, it can be however you want it to be, really. This could be like one thing, and this could be another, and you can have windows in here, which would just be like little, you could have a set of stairs coming down from this tower, maybe a window in this tower too. Just like that one. Stairs that come down. You might have a set of stairs that come down this way. On the outside, it would curve around. You could have a flat roof there. You can put more windows. You can put more arch windows. You could even draw people in the window. You could have them shooting their arrows and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and maybe put a tree back here. Just so that I could have some kind of ground too, that's maybe a courtyard in the very back where there's bushes or trees back here. And then very far on our horizon line, I'm going to put some just little hills, because I really want it to be kind of mountainous back there. I want it to go way back there, and I want it to be kind of mountainous. So here are my mountains, way in the background. And this is how you build a castle. And you just keep building and building and building. You keep coming back in here. You can move this down. I'm not going to. I'm going to put another tree. It goes into my courtyard here. I think it'll be more of a courtyard there. I'm going to connect it to the back part. This being the wall that comes around. I'm going to have, let's see, that's the other part of the wall that went that way. It's going to go way back there. I'm going to have my tree. Maybe I'll have a little swing off my tree. I don't know. It's a castle. Maybe they didn't swing back then. I don't know. We're just going to do all kinds of stuff. And then you can actually add more buildings in front of it. It can really be, it's up to you how you do this. You could even darken this in. Would be kind of a cool effect, because that would seem like there is a blank area between the front and the back. And it would also help you, you would see your rook really good on that. I don't have a rook here on this wall. I just have it on the main, but you could have put it all the way around. If you wanted to, you could have gone back with this, and you could have put a rook all the way around, because a lot of castles did have that. I think I'm going to fill this in black. Fill this in black. All the way to here. And that's where the black's going to stop, because this is more like the courtyard. And whatever, they have different things and trees and plants and different whatever in there. Maybe even a garden. You could put a garden in there. There's so many things you could draw in this. I love if you use your imagination and then send me pictures of it so I can see how your castles came out. I would love that. I'm trying to think of what else we could put. Definitely in the water, you want to make the water kind of go like this. And you could put a crocodile, which we did in the swamp. If you did the swamp with me, you know what that's like. All you have to do is put the eyes and then the nose. And then you just kind of loop the water around like that. That's it. There's the crocodile eye. There's his nose. He'll have a little bit of humps on the back. That'll be out of the water, and then his tail will be out of the water a little bit, and that's about it. And then to make it look like he's swimming, since it's facing going that way, we're going to take the water and we're going to do like this, because the water goes away from them at an angle when they're swimming. And they go from each of the points that's the highest and toward the front. And then to make it look even more like water, you're going to put some more lines kind of going through here to make it look like there's water flowing. And you could put some more rocks in here. Maybe some more plants. I don't know. Use your imagination. Maybe some flowers. Maybe a few little flowers or something. I don't know. They could have flowers that grow at the close to a castle. I don't know. That would be cute. And then here's another, maybe some more rocks, some little pebbles or something. And that basically is our castle. I kind of filled in some stuff. You don't have to. Like, see this? I think I'm going to go ahead and fill this whole building in because I want it to kind of drop off to the back. In order to do that, I'm going to have to make it dark. I can take all of these and I can either do the same kind of thing I did here. Or I can do even straight shingles where they just go in, you know, straight, angled, whatever. You can do whatever you want to on the tops. You don't even have to put any of that if you don't want to. There's so much you could do with this castle. It's just, you could go on and on and on. And if you're doing it in pencil, you can add people. You can, oh, it's so much stuff. So there is our castle, our basic castle. And, yeah, there's our castle. Yay. Thank you for drawing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. We will continue this as we go, and I hope you have love, joy, and peace in your life today and always. And one more thing, never forget, you'll always be a part of Mimsy's heart. Bye, guys. Bye.